I'm Jim Sedell. I'm an aquatic ecologist who's currently a science administrator director for Forest Service.
So Jim, what might you take away from this gathering, this encounter with the mountain, this landscape of recovery that would or might inform your work back home?
I think with me it was very definitely getting the sense of awe and wonder in line with my feelings at the time. And to illustrate, when we came in here, there were just around every corner was something new and exciting. Whether the fact that fish survived, or whether it was these big fish survived in a sand dune stream that was once a pristine, clear water stream. The fact that you found dome bugs on 3-day-old lava at the crater. And so there was a permanence of life that you saw, and things come out of the ash all the time. And then there was an emotional side which got buried in the excitement of the discoveries of things and of the intellectual exercise of piecing together what's happening with the ecosystem recovery or the lake and stream recovery on the mountain. And that permanence that persisted for 25 years reemerged this year, or with this gathering, in a tremendous sense of personal loss I felt when I visited what, in real reality, Ursula Le Guin identified in her Media Lake poem, and very much was like a wasteland. And you felt it. The lake had no reference points at all that were important to me. The mountain ruled with chemotrophs, methanogens, parasites which ate brains, whatever, and then rat-tailed maggots, mosquitoes, and they all came out in adult form that wasn't a pleasant form. But I think the thing was that the permanence was the emotion. It never went away and had to be acknowledged and released. And I did that this weekend.
Are there some things about this place and what's happened here that you see informing how we think about and treat other landscapes?
Oh, no question about it. It's probably a landscape that's here. This laboratory, this recovery, has got huge implications with the way we're going to get to manage lands, or the potential for recovery and restoration will be faster in some things, and we can take those lessons that the mountain gave us here and use those on public lands, private lands, after fires, while we might want to thin and manage a forest. And then this is going to play out. Different parts of this monument are going to play out over the next century or so. And so we have this great ability to frame our fairy tales about how the world works, and the mountain's recovery is going to give us a chance to test that and readjust those fairy tales. But in terms of management impacts, there's no question that what we're learning here, if in fact we want to sustain the kinds of biodiversity, the kinds of clean water, the kinds of sustainable environments, this mountain will give us the whole package, from aquatics to terrestrial.
So you're emerging as a champion of the experimental forest. You see this as that kind of a place? Oh,
well, I feel like this is probably one of the, certainly North America's greatest experiment to genuinely start at ground zero and then come up. And the irony was it was never ground zero. Things they thought were dead were alive. I mean, the idea that you could find primitive bacteria on 2 or 3 day old lava, just a mind blower to me. So life is pretty tough. out there. And so that's it. The other thing is its position. It's juxtaposed between industrial strength forestry to the west with private industrial forest lands, and then really actively managed lands of public lands. And so you've got the experimental recovery coming on, which incorporates a legacy of human impacts at the time of the blast that are playing out with the blast, and then you've got these managed forests on either side, which really lend in an experimental, a true experimental situation that you can look at the extremes of recovery, or look at the extremes of the trajectories and the nuances of biodiversity recovery, and just the ups and downs. And at the same time, the place gives an incredible emotional impact to scientists and people alike, not only in terms of the hope of recovery, but in terms of just the awe of such a huge event.
This bringing together of scientists and writers, artists, you've been one of the spark plugs for that. Are you as hopeful as ever about the value of that?
Oh yeah, and in fact, as a scientist who's relatively disorganized, even when you had to put a paper together, it's heartening, one, to see really organized writers, and in fact the worth of their writing is very often the tightness of their organization, the precision of their language, and the fact that you've been given incredible encouragement and strong urging to put the stories to pen is one that I'll cook on and start to work on. And then these people give me hope that a clinical scientist like myself could actually produce something. So there's personal hope here from these people too.